Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Dungeons and Housing. So, I'm in a housing dungeon, and on the news, there is a documentary about the Holocaust. And in this documentary, it is reported that the Jewish people were not allowed to own radios during the Holocaust. Luckily for LL Cool J, he was not a Jewish person living during the Holocaust, because we all know LL can't live without his radio. These are dungeon jokes. So I'm still watching the documentary of the Holocaust in the dungeon of housing, and I remembered, didn't Hitler escape World War II and secretly he was living the rest of his life out in South America? And I'm just saying a lot of Latin American countries are cool with it. So I'm just saying, if you see some Nazi stuff going on in particular parts of town, that could be a reason, educationally speaking. These are dungeon jokes. So I'm trapped in the housing dungeon, listening to housing dungeon news, when suddenly it is reported that a drug lord's wife has tripped up, which reminds me of another person's wife who is currently in the housing dungeon, who is currently fucking up, verbally speaking. These are dungeon jokes. I'm just saying, have you ever been in a situation, maybe in your office, workspace, or classroom, where the entire class is obviously tired of hearing the same two voices annoyingly talking over and over and over again? Wow. I think everybody is in agreement. Shut the fuck up. You're annoying. I'm just saying, these are dungeon jokes. My sixth sense tells me that maybe these two individuals are low-key undercover workers at the dungeon. You know how sometimes dungeon spawns enemies and stuff? Because dungeons make monsters. So I'm just thinking, as a dungeon crawler, and I think the other dungeon crawlers, we're all in agreement here. It's are these two spawns just secretly working for the dungeon? I don't know. These are dungeon jokes. So I'm in the housing dungeon, getting more housing information, and there is a commercial about deodorizers on the housing dungeon channel. And I just started thinking, wow, I wish there was a product that could deodorize people's souls, because some people just have horrible stinky spirits. And it's like, man, is there a spray for that? Because you stink right now. These are dungeon jokes. Oh, shit. So I'm in the dungeon listening to dungeon news, and apparently Raj Kumar has dropped out of the public race. Wow. I wish other people in the dungeon currently who are talking really loudly would drop out of their conversation. These are dungeon jokes. So I'm in the dungeon of housing once again, involuntarily listening to an annoying ass conversation, when suddenly the thought of death occurred. And I agree, I'd rather be dead than fucking listen to another second of this dumbass conversation. These are dungeon jokes. Aim for the head, please don't miss. So I'm sitting in the dungeon of housing once again, still listening to a conversation that has lasted at this point way too long. This conversation is so sucky that everybody, as you can hear in the building, is getting pissed off. Oh my God, everybody's fucking mad at this conversation. So I'm wondering, these two people that are still having this dumb ass conversation that everybody doesn't want to hear, and you can see it on their faces, you can even hear it now as I'm making these dungeon jokes. I wonder, are these people, two in particular, are they like voice actors or something? You know, like people who do acting, but with their voices? Because only an actor could pull this one off. These are dungeon jokes. And if the holders of this conversation that once again has been going on way too long, oh my God, I'm just saying, if these people are actresses, voice actors in particular, I'm currently wondering, would they be interested in doing some work for me on my Instagram channel, which is Le Oracle, formerly known as Kai, spelled LERORMERLYKNOWNASCAI on Instagram. Because wow, if you can hold up a conversation like this for 2 hours that no one's interested in, maybe you could be in one of my videos, I guess, if it means that much to you. Just saying, these are dungeon jokes. Once again, sitting in the dungeon of houses, listening to Nazi documentaries and also, at this point, Nazi conversations that should have ended a long time ago. And then a phrase rings out in the conversation, a 2-letter word, fuck you. And I have to agree, yes, Chance the Rapper, I Might Need Security, that was a great song. Disclaimer on the previous dungeon joke. When we said fuck you, we meant non-sexually speaking because we don't get it on with demons. These are dungeon jokes. The ravages of time have passed, but once again I still sit in the housing dungeon. Thankfully, this conversation is finally ending, it seems. That being said, I notice sometimes in life, people who have bad communication skills try to attract other people in their life in all the wrong ways. Maybe I should hold an impromptu class on how to attract a mate the right way, with positivity and not toxic, demon spawn negativity. These are dungeon jokes. Relationship help number 1. Do you know how to STFU? Yes, the STFU is a wrestling move made popular by the wrestler John Cena. However, STFU is also an acronym that means silencio. If you can STFU, aka silencio, then maybe you'll attract that man that you want in your life. These are dungeon jokes. Not to say that guys don't like women who can't speak their mind. It is just nobody likes an annoying person who keeps a conversation going on for 3 hours. At this point, a conversation that has gone nowhere, that has contributed nothing positive to society as a whole. Most guys love a woman who can speak something with intelligence into the atmosphere. So if you have something intelligent to say, by all means, guys love that. But if you're just a dumb, then maybe you should STFU. These are dungeon jokes. Housing dungeon relationship advice number 2. Relationship advice number 2. Cooking. A guy loves, guys in general like food. I think human beings in general love food. So if you know how to cook, that's just a plus plus. Not saying that you have to know how to cook to attract a man. I'm just saying it's a bonus. Talk to your grandma. She'll tell you. These are dungeon jokes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly ladies, because I was mostly the demographic in the room when recording this comedy album, Dungeon Housing Dungeon Jokes. 98% of the studio audience in the dungeon today was fucking excellent. Man, manners on point. You guys are doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? Minding your own business. When you had a question, you ask questions, but for the most part, you're just doing you. Like I was just doing me. We were all just doing us, and we were doing it spectacularly. One lady in particular who was in the room when I first came in, and I personally asked you, like, hey, what do you think of the somersault? Hey, do you make movies? Hey, are you a personal trainer? Hey, do you do karate? That lady in particular, fucking awesome. Please, like, I don't know, teach your people. I don't know. But for the other 2 students in the classroom today, mostly whose this album jokes are basically all about, cause wow, they just fucking wouldn't shut the fuck up. I think I had 2 jokes that were not about them, which were pretty good. One was LL Cool J and Oswich, can't live without my radio. I forget what the other one was, cause these motherfuckers would not shut the fuck up. Good God. What's wrong with you guys? What's wrong with you guys? If you wanted my phone number, you should have just asked me. What's with all the negativity, you guys? You guys gotta do better next time. You can't be fucking negative all the time. That's why one of you is pregnant. I don't know where the father is. Is there a father? If there's not, I'm not surprised because of your nasty attitudes, you guys. You too, you need to fucking be more better. I'm sure some messed up stuff has probably happened to you in your life. That's why you act the way you do. But at the same time, you gotta do better. You gotta, come on, one of you has a fucking kid. You gonna teach a kid this shit? Probably. And the cycle continues. In conclusion, these were dungeon jokes. See you next time. Same dungeon time, same dungeon motherfucking hour. P.S. I don't want to make the two lady individuals who I mentioned earlier feel super bad. I will admit, there was one other motherfucker in the dungeon who was also on some bullshit. And what makes it worse, she actually had a kid. Like, I don't want to say a full grown kid, but you know, a kid that can fucking walk and talk and wipe its own butt. You know what I'm saying? Probably going to grade school and everything. You know, you're not setting a good example for this young man. Okay, you guys, we could have been having fun playing Nerf guns and stuff. But no, you want to be a boo boo head. So I hope you teach your son some better, life lessons or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? All right.